Bo Nix is a player who was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He took the college football world by storm his true freshman season when he became the full-time starter for the Auburn Tigers. And he played pretty well, all things considered. But throughout his sophomore and his junior seasons, his play would slowly decline and he continuously got worse, and things were not going well in Auburn. So in 2022, Nix packed his bags and went to Eugene, Oregon, where he has played absolutely stellar ball for the Ducks and turned himself into one of the more polarizing prospects in the 2024 NFL Draft. Many people think of Nix and still think of the guy who struggled at Auburn. But in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down why Bo Nix is not the same guy and what makes him such an interesting quarterback to scout entering the 2024 NFL Draft cycle. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, I upload prospect spotlights on Fridays and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I love making these videos for you guys, and you guys have shown tons of support. So if you guys enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and let's take a closer look at Bo Nix. In 2022, his first season with Oregon, Bo Nix played extremely well. He had 3,593 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, but was also dynamic as a run threat with over 500 yards rushing and 14 rushing touchdowns. Oregon was very competitive, and Nix was a big reason why. So far in 2023, Nix has been even better, with 2,089 yards, 19 touchdowns, 1 interception, and while the numbers on the rushing touchdowns are down, he has still been very good. The first thing that stands out to me about Bo Nix is his athleticism. He is a very good mover in the pocket and does an excellent job at scrambling, buying himself more time, and slinging the ball down the field. We talked about his rushing touchdowns already, but it's more than that. Nix has good speed when he does decide to take off with the football. It is projected Nix will run around a 4.6 in terms of his 40-yard dash, which is pretty solid for a quarterback. Nix also does a very good job at throwing on the run. He keeps his eyes down the field, and he does a really good job at finding the open man, which is something I love to see. He's great at extending plays, and his athleticism really stands out. Nix is also really accurate with the football, and this is something that has gotten better each and every year for him that he's played. His turnovers have dropped every year, but his completion percentage so far in 2023 is absolutely ridiculous. Nix is completing 78.4% of his passes, which is absolutely absurd, and Oregon is playing excellent football. He does a very good job at putting the ball where it needs to be, and he doesn't force the ball into coverage. He scans the field really well, goes through his progression, and makes the right reads with the football. Nix is very smart with the football, and he takes care of it, and we're seeing that on full display so far in 2023. His decision making has been the biggest improvement of his so far. While he had the tendency to force the ball quite often at Auburn, and even at times last year for the Ducks, Nix has done a much better job at taking what the defense gives him and making the right decisions with the football. He's taking checkdowns, and he's not forcing the ball into double coverage. He's reading defenses well, and he does still force it occasionally. It's not like this is an issue that's completely gone away, but it has gotten much better for Bo Nix, and it's really improved his draft stock. Nix has a natural throwing motion, and it flicks off his wrist with ease. He looks comfortable and composed in the pocket at all times, and he plays at his own speed. It never feels as if he is rushed, and he makes his throws look very effortless. Even when he's under pressure, he does a really good job of escaping it, and it never seems like he is in a panic, and I really love that from Bo Nix. Nix has some concerns in his game that could cause scouts to turn away. For one, it is his age. Nix will be 24 by the time of the NFL Draft, making him one of the oldest quarterbacks in this class. Teams often want younger, more high upside quarterbacks that they can mold and develop into a superstar, and you wonder how much you can mold a guy like Bo Nix considering he is 24, and a lot of these quarterbacks enter their prime at around their 24-25 season. So does he have a big prime ahead of him? That's a big question and one I think a lot of NFL scouts are going to be asking. Nix also isn't the biggest quarterback in the world, standing at only 6'2", 213 pounds. Nix doesn't possess the ideal size you would look for necessarily in a starting quarterback in the NFL. However, size at the quarterback position seems to be less and less of a factor over the last 5 or so years, so I'm not too concerned about his size. While Nix can't control his size nor his age, he can control his arm, which is another area of his I see that he needs to improve upon. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, and his deep ball accuracy can be suspect from time to time. He doesn't have the ability to effortlessly throw the ball 40, 50 yards down the field like other quarterbacks in this class, and he underthrows or overthrows, and he just can't connect consistently on his deep ball. While he is super accurate in the short to intermediate passes, his deep ball is an area I worry about with Bo Nix. Lastly, his pocket awareness can improve slightly. Sometimes he doesn't sense the pressure coming from the backside, or he doesn't read blitzes at the snap the way he should. While this has improved some this year, it was something I have noticed with him in the past, and something I thought that was worth noting. Bo Nix is a polarizing prospect. A lot of people are really high on him, and I see why they like him so much. For me, however, I think there are better quarterbacks in this class, and Bo Nix is currently my number 6 overall quarterback in the 2024 NFL Draft. Him being older worries me, and the deep ball accuracy is a concern as well. He is my number 36 player on my big board. Bo Nix, I think, would thrive best in a heavy RPO system. A system where a lot of the passes are in that short to intermediate range, but will also allow him to utilize his athleticism and his running ability a bit more than he would in other schemes. I think this would help maximize his strengths, and you'd be able to get the most out of Bo Nix in an RPO system. Finding a comp for Nix was admittedly difficult, but I stumbled across Alex Smith. They both were extremely accurate with the football, but one thing that people seem to forget about when it comes to Alex Smith was that he was a runner. When he was in San Francisco and Kansas City, he had good legs, and he was able to extend plays and run the football a little bit. Smith has a better deep ball admittedly, and is slightly bigger than Bo Nix, but I think they have very similar playstyles, so I'm going to go with that as my player comparison. Bo Nix is polarizing. Some people love him, and some people don't. I'm in the middle. I think he has some nice tools, but I can see where the concerns lie when it comes to Bo Nix. His arm concerns me, and he is a bit older. And for that reason, I'm not convinced he's going to be a first-round pick in the draft. I think Bo Nix will be a top 40 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.